What is the scariest conspiracy theory if true? Not that we are living in a simulation, but that you are living in a simulation. You are the only thing that is real. Everyone else is the simulation. Users commenting in this thread, all other users on Reddit, users on YouTube, Instagram, the internet itself, all your classmates, coworkers, teachers, even your friends and family, all highly advanced NPCs. They act like people and are 100% perfect at seeming real. The scariest part is, try to prove this false. The Matrix is real. The Franklin cover-up. A man named Laurence King was running the Franklin Credit Union in Omaha in the 1980s until it was discovered he embezzled tens of millions of dollars. It was also alleged that he was running a sophisticated child pedophile ring and catered to the most powerful men in the United States. Evidence of this includes chartered flights that always listed 3 to 5 unnamed passengers in their itineraries. King also had a private bedroom installed in his office for guests. Several children came forward with allegations that they had been present at satanic-style rituals involving King and politicians like Barney Frank and George H.W. Bush. These allegations are generally viewed as a product of the satanic panic, but there is some compelling evidence that they have at least some merit. There is a great book and a documentary from the early 90s available if one would like to learn more. That I'm retarded and people are just nice to me and talk to me so that I won't feel bad. That we live in a society. Gnosticism. That a evil energy called the demiurge created the universe and created humans to act as batteries, and that fear is energy they need, and when we die they fool us to go into the light by revealing loved ones to us that call our names, and that if we go into the light it's a con to get us to reincarnate to supply their energy over and over. The government is turning the frogs gay. The Gov/Bush did do 9/11. The impact that this would have, if proven true, are shattering in proportions to what they then led to. Also the disappearance of the Malaysia flight. It was found, except the story wasn't disclosed, and the reasons behind it are far more serious/scary than what can be told. Mr. Skeletal won't actually grant you good bones and calcium. Edit, up to thank and get good bones and calcium. Reality is an illusion. You're the only thing that actually exists. When you die, you realize that, and in your loneliness go insane and create another fictitious world to occupy your mind until you die. Repeat forever. Remember flight MH17 that was shot down by Russia over Ukraine? 100 of the world's top scientists for AIDS research was on that plane, and the former president of the International AIDS Society was there as well. The cure for AIDS was close to being accomplished, and a new world order or top governments around the world allowed it to be shot down. Edit, /u/Rujin pointed out it was actually 6 not 100. Early media reports were inaccurate. Being homosexual turns you gay. The little tips at the ends of shoelaces are called aglets. Their true purpose is sinister. There is war in basing SE. The Mandela effect means we're in an alternate reality. The Mandela effect is basically that a whole lot of people remember events happening differently than they are officially recorded in history. And it's called that because a lot of people remember Mandela's funeral happening years sooner than it actually did. The theory ties into the CERN Hadron Collider. No one really knew what would happen when they turned it on. Worst case scenario, it might make a mini black hole and kill us all instantly. The theory says that when they turned on the collider, it actually did kill us all. And that sudden event shifted our entire world into a parallel reality where we just kind of continue to exist like nothing really happened. The side effects are the Mandela effect, and that some people still remember things, how they happened in the old reality. The world is riderless. Nobody is in control. Claims to power are exaggerated or outright lies. Everything is always falling apart, and we're all going to die. There's nothing anybody can do about it, and we're all just sitting here staring at each other pretending that someone or something is in charge. John Titor. That your life is a TV show, like in the Truman Show. My dad's not at the store, and isn't coming back. The conspiracy theory that MK Ultra is still happening. MK Ultra is pretty much what caused a lot of people to come up with conspiracy theories, because the government really was spiking people's drinks with LSD and running a bunch of horrible tests involving sensory deprivation. Read up on it if you want, but it's the stuff of nightmares. Beautiful, doesn't it exist? World's population is growing rapidly, and the agriculture is getting increasingly vulnerable to droughts. This means that in a relatively short amount of time the world will face a very severe food crisis, sparking wars and unrest. It is not too far-fetched to think that at this very moment somewhere in the underground lab scientists are designing a virus that will wipe out the precise number of people to avoid the chaos. Trump is actually operating from a master plan. Satanic cannibal pedophiles run Hollywood. Large Hadron Collider damage and shutdown incident was actually due to the production of a macro black hole, which has sunk to the Earth's core and is eating the Earth from the inside out. The 1% and politicians are hoarding so much wealth because they and the government know climate change isn't reversible and are planning on using the money to fortify themselves in safe havens. Ted Cruz is actually a human. The Krabby Patty secret formula is not actually a physical formula. Instead, it is simply the existence of SpongeBob. He is the formula. He is the only secreter in existence that has the ability to craft the perfect Krabby Patty. That is why in the first episode where he makes the burger, he is able to whip up thousands of them before the secret formula is even revealed to him. This is objectively disproven by the episode where their former fry cook shows up and crafts a Krabby Patty so delicious, so brilliant, that everyone faints. You are a fool. Hand back your SpongeBob diploma. That Monsanto and other chemical companies have funded carefully curated research to suggest glyphosate-based pesticide is safe when in reality it causes cancer. That kid on Sparkslive was right about your mom. That human life on Earth has started and ended several times before. The human species has repeatedly begun, evolved, advanced, and then died off, or was wiped out over and over. And so far, we have demonstrated that we can only last about 5,000 to 10,000 years. Ancient sites like Göbekli Tepe and several other megalithic structures around the world seem to suggest humans may have once had even more advanced technology than we do today, but got wiped out and had to start over again. Some even think the Great Pyramid of Giza is much older than mainstream scientists and archaeologists say, and had a completely different purpose than the tomb theory that pervades mainstream beliefs today. That believing in these narratives is the conspiracy. That is the mind control of creating passive victims or people actively choosing against their best interests in order to maintain the illusion of security. It doesn't matter so much what you believe, but that you believe at all. Once that hook is set, I can sell you. Consider that the missing link in human evolution may actually be the species that created humans. I will call this species People Zero. In mythology, pop culture, and literary fiction there have often been splices of humans and other animals. Centaurs, mermaids, minotaurs, and even to some extent, angels. What if the humans that exist today are the final form of a species that was created for a high life form to use as slave labor / food source on Earth? The People Zero / fish, People Zero / horse, and People Zero / bad hybrids were all attempts to create a species that could be used for labor in the different environments of Earth. However, the only one that succeeded was a People Zero / primate hybrid. This hybrid was further tested resulting in Neanderthals, Homo sapiens, and other ancestral and exotic forms of humans. Through evolution and extinction the only People Zero hybrid experiment that was successful is us. That sometime around 2015 the player of the simulation in which we are currently living got bored with this save and began to hit the equivalent of the disaster button in SimCity over and over again. That this Amazons are alien weapons, and when music plays she loses control of these weapons. She tries desperately to keep them under wraps, but soon enough a song oozing with so much funk, so much goddamn jive will come on, and we'll be doomed. Those lanky limbs will turn all life to dust. That male models have been assassinating world leaders for over 200 years. Pharmaceutical companies are withholding a cure for cancer because of how much money they make from the current treatments such as chemo. Now I know that there are tons of cancers, so there being a single magical cure is something that just will never happen. But imagine how scary it would be if it were true. These companies are so greedy that they are not only willing to kill millions of people, but also put their family and friends through the terrible ordeal of watching them die slowly from cancer. It's pretty fucked up. This only really applies to America, but it makes sense to me. We are the world military superpower. Most of our nation's industry trade negotiations that keep us on top relies on this. So think about that first, and now think about the things that are wrong with America. Our healthcare sucks. Education is insanely expensive, and the idea of college being necessary to make a good living has been driven into us, as well as minimum wage being fucking laughable to the point where an average family cannot survive on it. We are constantly at war and trying to play world police. We have never not had enemies or been involved in a conflict off of our soil, especially if it benefits our elite financially. Now, in order to keep this well-oiled machine running, you need people to join the military. A lot of people. The main reasons people join the military in America are for healthcare, education payment, and because they feel lost and have no other direction as a result of our piss poor high school agendas. People aren't taught how to survive or learn practical skills at all. It makes joining the military after high school look very entice. If we got universal healthcare and free education, enrollment would significantly drop off, resulting in a pretty quick collapse in our dynasty. It's all a well-oiled machine designed to keep the empire rolling over the backs of our young men and women, while keeping the elite rich from whatever military/corporate endeavor they can think of.